This is the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers. Verse 9. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. Verse 10. Shall not they teach thee, and tell thee, and utter words out of their heart? Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Radash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 8 through 10, is that I wanted to get into the history of the Northern Kingdom. All right, you so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. All right, because you are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, and there's historical documentation proof, all right, that you descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, and there's so much documentation that there's actually books, okay, written on it, where these books are stored. Okay, these books, which I'm going to show, get into, reading some of this, images like this, books like this, all right, books like this are located, see right here, sources, Abraham J. Karp, from the ends of the earth, Judaic treasures of the Library of Congress, D.C., Library of Congress, okay? So yeah, you have books, okay, of our history, of our forefathers, located in the Library of Congress. Which proves that the elites of the Edomites, they know exactly who we are. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, all right? The GMO Illuminati, all right? They know who we are, all right? And these books are in Congress, all right? Easily accessible. So, and that's what brings me, to this lesson, because it's always good to go back into, back to the basics. Always search out your forefathers, man. Always, okay, understand the truth, okay, of why are we here, and why are certain things happening to us, all right, in these last days, all right? Why are we now waking up to our biblical nationality, okay? Why are we now finally coming across this historical, factual documentation, all right? Why do the elites have these books there, okay? How come this website, which was constructed and organized by the 1948ers and the American Edomites, okay, why do they have this website up with this information? All right, because it's all done through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for us to get this understanding so that the elect is to be sealed so we get delivered. Because that's what it comes down to, all right, salvation, all right, and coming to remembrance. What was that in Malachi? Was it 3:16? Then they that fear the Lord spake often one to another. Right? Who's going to fear the Lord? The elect, the righteous men, okay, women, children. And the Lord hearkened, but it starts with the men, because that's the men of the nation of Israel, the elect, that are going to bring out this word. And the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord, and that thought upon his name, right? A book of remembrance, because it all goes back to coming back to the Bible, coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments, coming back to the Lord's true name, his Hebrew name, okay? The Son's name is Yahweh Shai. The Father's name is Yahweh. Coming back to remembrance of who we are, our identity, our heritage, our culture. because we lost it because we went off, and that was part of our punishments. But the documentations of who we are, our forefathers, have always been around. So this portion right here, you can read it, but I don't want to get to that part. I want to get to this other part, which is heavy information. And I'm pretty sure brothers came across this article and done videos as well. But this part right here, real quickly, just for a synopsis, it's a little summary. This is how the Abraham Furso, he was a historian. He wanted to get into the geography of the world, and he was going off of Columbus writings, and he came to the conclusion that Jews lived in the New World. Okay, that he said Jews, they lived in the New World, beyond the river. He calls it the river of Sambatyon. All right, where you could go into second. Let me get it. It's second address. See, this is spirit. I'm just going to go with the spirit. Second address, because this is what Christopher Columbus used. He used the Bible to give credibility that the earth was round. Okay. Second address 13. Yeah, Euphrates. Excuse me, the Euphrates River, beyond the Euphrates River. Yeah. So I'll read the scripture. It says second address 13 and 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land at the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar the king of Syria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. Right. So the king of Assyria took down the northern kingdom, took down you so-called Hispanics and Native Americans, all right, took us out of the land, all right, and put us into the land near, what's it called? Where Saudi Arabia is at, okay, in that region, okay. It says, but they took this counsel among themselves that they will leave the multitude of the heathen and go further into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land. And we didn't keep our statues in this land, okay. We were doing all types of wicked acts, doing abominable acts, and that's why the Lord had the conquistadors, the Spaniards, Christopher Columbus, come and put a foot up in our ass because we went off, all right, for lack of better words. But here's the point. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. Excuse me. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. 44. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. Right. Christopher Columbus read this, by the way, and that's how he knew that the world was round. 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arzareth. Right. And according to the Jewish Encyclopedia, Arzareth is associated, or is the name for the New World America, the Americas. All right. So there's that point. Just wanted to throw that out there. All right. Continue on. And that's, real quickly, here's another scripture. And that's the reason why it's imperative to know your history. Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. All right? So there you have it. You're supposed to go and search out your forefathers. You're supposed to, okay, listen to the elders that have done the legwork, like, okay, here in Great Millstone, the apostles and elders, they constantly went into the history. All right, they constantly done the legwork of showing our identity and who we were prior to the transatlantic slave trade. Christopher Columbus, conquistadors. All right, so you're supposed to do this, and this is a commandment. This is part of the Bible. All right, so all those that say leave in the past, you're going off. All right. First of all, the Lord said he required that which is past. Let me get that, please. And see that the spirit is just moving right now. All right. Ecclesiastes. I'll start right here. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And God, the Most High Power, required that which is past. There you go. So let's continue on. So back to this website. I don't want to make this too long. I'm trying to keep it short. In the rare book and special collections division are 2 books bearing the same titles. Right. Once again, these books are in the Library of Congress. Okay. DC. Jews in America, by the same author, but published in London 10 years apart in 1650 and 1660. The author, Thomas Thorogood, a British divine, has as the subtitle of the first edition, Probabilities that the Americans are Jews, right? And Americans meaning the indigenous, all right? And the Northern Kingdom, okay? If you come from the descendants of so-called Hispanics or Native Americans. That the Americans are Jews. These are the first of many books. These are the first of many books. So there are many books. Okay? This is coming out of their mouth. And articles identifying that Americans, Indians, as the descendants of the 10 tribes of Israel. Right. And you notice they didn't need to put Hispanics because that word Hispanic was a new term. All right? They were always saying Indians or indigenous who were exiled by the Assyrian monarch Sennacherib in 722 BCE and lost. Right, I just read that in second Esdras chapter 13, starting at the 40th verse. Thorogood argues that the Indians do themselves relate things of their ancestors suitable to what we read in the Bible. They constantly and strictly separate their women in a little wigwam by themselves in their feminine seasons. Right, what's he talking about? The Levitical laws, okay? In the Leviticus chapter 15, around the 19th verse, talks about when a woman is unclean, okay? And she has to be apart for 7 days. Let's talk about her menstrual cycle, okay? Our people, our ancestors were doing that, all right? The woman, when they were on their monthly, they would separate themselves from the congregation, all right? Because they were unclean. The customs that we did, all right, before the conquistadors came, right, were the customs of our heritage, our forefathers. They hold that Ninawit Nawit, a god overhead, made the heavens and the earth. He further proposes that the rites, fashions, ceremonies, and opinions of the Americans are many things agreeable to the customs of the Jews, not only profane and common usages, but such as he called solemn and sacred, right? Because they come from the law, statutes, and commandments, from the Bible, all right? That's why the book of Remembrance. His final and crowning proof, the relation of Master Antonio Monterinos, translated out of the French copy sent by Manasseh ben Israel, begins. All right, and I'm jumping down a little bit. The title of the Jews in America continues. Probabilities that the Americans are Jews, one of the earliest of the many books asserting that the American Indians are descended from the 10 lost tribes of Israel. The other author documents its assertion with the account of Aaron Levi alias Antonio Monterinos, who returned to Amsterdam from Brazil with a tale that he had met representatives of the descendants of the 10 lost tribes now resident in South America. Thomas Thorogood, Jews in America, London, 1650, rare book and special collections divisions. There you go. Right, this book is in the Library of Congress, D.C. Okay, but here's a heavy hitter right here. What follows is a fanciful tale by Montezino, his correct name, of meeting in Brazil representatives of mysterious mighty nation of Indians who claimed descent from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and Israel, which Jacob and Israel are the same, and from the tribes of Reuben and Joseph. Hey, man. Hey, this is hard-hitting and in your face, okay? Vocab All right, Malone and Jesus is the retard. All right, they announced their readiness now to rise up and drive the Spanish and Portuguese invaders from their continent, which, our people, thinking they can do things without the consent from the Lord, and they got, put down. But hey, our people knew when the conquistadors arrived who they were. They knew that they were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, they knew what tribe they came from. All right. Hard hitting and in your face. Bow movie. This is beautiful stuff, man. Okay. Let me get another article. One more. I always like to bring this one out because PBS. This resonates with me. I'm pretty sure with a lot of brothers because I remember as a child watching PBS. Used to get a lot of my learning from PBS. Okay, the Reading Rainbow. All right. I used to learn how to count watching Sesame Street. Okay. PBS. Can't get more credible than this. All right. Where are the 10 tribes? Boundless opportunity and fortune awaited Columbus and his crew as they set out their voyage in 1492. The lands that they discovered promised a new and better world. But for one Spanish missionary, the cruel enslavement and exploitation of the Native Americans was not the picture of the new world he envisioned. In the early 16th century, Bartolomé de las Casas became the champion of the Native American Indians, devoting his lifetime to improving the conditions in the West Indies, Peru, and Guatemala. Okay, he's talking about the Caribbeans and Peru and Guatemala. Okay, the Caribbeans in South America, same place, same area, region as what Thorogood wrote, and getting his information from Antonio. What was his name? Okay, Antonio Mentarinos, right? And see, this is how you prove things. And that's why you so-called Christians and you other bug outs, all right? You don't know nothing because you don't source nothing out, all right? Even though we all went to school, we all went to college, right? When you wrote a report, when you wrote an essay, okay? You wrote anything that had to do with historical documentation, you had to source your work, right? And what better sourcing of the work than coming straight from the Bible? Because, yeah, these are great sources, but the Bible said this was going to happen, okay? But anyway, hey, this is another source. If we treat them humanely, okay, so here's this. This is a powerful statement right here. These Indians can bring near the redemption if we treat them humanely in this world and convert them to Christianity, which was off, right? We're Israelites. Why would you do that, right? Which is just us falling away from our identity and heritage. And this was all done by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai because we were going off. So he used the heathens to break us down and to put a false religion on us. We are preparing for the redemption of the Western world in the Messianic area. Their conversion is apt indeed, as I am convinced the Indians originate in ancient Israel. Indeed, I can bring proofs from the Bible that they are the lost tribes. Ooh, that's powerful, man. From the Bible. There's your source right there. All right? That's why you're supposed to search out your forefathers. Okay? They will teach you. Okay? Esdras, Jeremiah. Okay? Isaiah. The book of Kings. They will teach us of our identity, our heritage, our customs, our culture, who we are. The association of the Indians with the lost tribes was heard again and again. The report by a Portuguese traveler, Antonio Metazinos. Whoa! So, hey, you got this website, Jewish Virtual Library, okay, which they're getting their source from the Library of Congress, okay? And this is a Jewish Virtual Library was set up by you Edomites, by the way. It's your people that did this. Okay, then you got PBS saying the same thing, this individual right here. So come on, man. The report by Portuguese traveler Antonio Montes some 20 years later aroused remarkable interest. Right, so 20 years later, so after Bartolomé de las Casas said this, 20 years later, Antonio says the same thing. It was a thrilling journey I took into South America. Now that I'm back in Amsterdam, I must share with you some incredible news. There is a Jewish Indian tribe living beyond the mountain passes of the Andes. Indeed, I myself heard them recite the Shema, the expression of the Hebrew faith, and saw them observe the Hebrew rituals. Christian theologians awaiting the second coming were thrilled to receive this welcome news. For tradition held that when the 10 tribes were found, reunited and restored to the Holy Land, the Messianic age was close at hand, right? So they were trying to push prophecy in that time period. But guess what? You couldn't push prophecy, all right? Because you're not Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we're on his timeline, all right? We're in his movie. So there had to be certain events that had to take part in order for this to come to fruition. Now it's coming to fruition because look what's going on in the world. The gospel has been preached, all right? And first of all, let's get it one thing certain, all right? Let's get one thing certain. The southern kingdom had to come to their nationality first, not the northern kingdom, okay? The southern kingdom, starting with Judah, the so-called Negro, had to get their nationality first and then teach the rest of the tribes, all right? That was the order that was set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? Just to combat, knuckleheads that are talking about crazy. Now there's a new doctrine out there that only so-called Hispanics and Native Americans are Israelite, and that's off, all right? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all right? Starting with Judah, had to get the knowledge first, all right? That's why it says in Isaiah, what does it say in Isaiah? Ephraim shall not envy Judah, all right? Because this is the Lord's program. I'll just start at the top, and the point is in 14, because this goes into what's going on now. Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Right? Who's the root of Jesse? He's talking about Yahushai. All right? From the tribe of Judah, or in Yehoiada. All right? Because Yahushai came out of the tribe of Judah. So it only makes sense that the tribe of Judah will first get this truth, this knowledge first. All right, then teach the other tribes. 11, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. All right, all the way here in the Americas. All right, the Caribbean islands. Okay, why is Isaiah prophesying this? Okay. Because these are the times where the Lord is going to get his people, the remnant, those that came to their nationality, understanding who they are. And we're in these times. Okay, this is a future prophecy, all right, that you're about to see happen, all right? You're seeing the beginning stages because now we're remembering ourselves. 12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. You see? So wherever the Israelites are scattered at, from Judah, Benjamin, Levi, that's the southern kingdom. From the northern kingdom, Ephraim, Simeon, Manasseh, Naphtali, Issachar, all right, Asher, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, okay? We were all scattered throughout the earth, and now it's time for us to come back to a people. 13. It's 13, that's the point, not 14. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, right, envy. And the adversary of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim, right, because you got a lot of, even amongst southern kingdom, a lot of Judah, all right, saying that only the Israelites are so-called Negroes. And that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie, man. All right? We were scattered. Many generations, okay? Being scattered. And you have what's known as rape, robbery, and pillaging, okay? So Israelite seeds have been spread. And that's why you don't go off color, okay? You have to go by the Spirit. 14. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand on Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. Right. Oh, yeah, because the Lord is going to use his men, all right, the elect, to jack you heathens up. All right. Last one, I'll close out. Baruch, this is the Apocrypha again, chapter 2, and I'll start at 28. As thou spakest by the servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying, right. So this is Baruch going back to the book of Moses. That's why the Apocrypha is part of the Bible, a book of remembrance. 29. If ye will not hear my voice, surely this great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. Right, we were scattered among the nations all throughout the earth. 30. For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. Right, we were going off. All right, we were pissing the Lord off, so the Lord jacked us up. All right, that we would go into captivity, go into slavery, lose our identity for a certain period of time. All right, because our enemies did that to us. Because when the conquistadors came, just going right back to the beginning, we knew who we were, but they all conspired with each other, according to Psalms 83, that they would take away the remembrance of Israel from us. All right, and that was part of the judgment, that these nations were going to beat our identity out of us, and the Lord allowed that because we were breaking His law, statutes, and commandments. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Right. So now we are remembering ourselves. See, this is part of prophecy. This had to happen. All right. This is part of the Lord's movie. And it's a beautiful story that you are now seeing so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. As well as the Israelite foreigners that are scattered among the nations that look like the other nations. Because you even got Israelites in now Japan and the Philippines, for example. All right. Coming back to their identity, remembering themselves, calling on the name of the Lord. 31. And shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear. 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity. And that's what we're doing. We're in captivity, so we're praising the Lord. Calling on it, right here. And think upon my name. Calling on the Lord, all right? Getting back to our heritage, our culture, all right, our identity. Following the high holy days, right? We just did our Day of Atonement. And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the ways of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. Right, going back to Job 8:8. Okay, for I inquire, I pray of you to search of your fathers. You see? That's why it's important never to forget who you are. Never to just look at the past and, that's in the past. No. This is a commandment. 34. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. 35. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people, and I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I've given them. Right, and we're coming to that where the Lord is going to deliver us out of wherever we were scattered at. The greatest deliverance, okay, it's going to be talked about for forever, for generations upon generations, all right? For thousands of years, man. And because time with the Lord is what is time when you're an Israelite, okay? And you're a part of the Lord's chosen people, okay? It's going to be talked about, the greatest deliverance ever via chariots, okay? So-called UFOs. That's how the Lord's coming back. So Lord willing is edifying. I just want to get into the history of mainly the northern kingdom, but hey, brought out the southern kingdom too a little bit, because hey, it's time, man. It's time to not forget who to not forget who you are. You're supposed to come and remember yourselves, man. And going to the Bible is remember yourself, okay? The book of remembrance, all right? And hey, and these elites, these heathens, they have this information. It's in the Library of Congress. All right. You can't get any more credible than that. That's why, these clowns, these so-called Christians, they're through. You can't stop this truth. All right. You can't stop it. And the elect, okay, are going to constantly push that out. Lord will, I'm part of it. But hey, I believe. That's why I'm doing this. I believe that the Lord's go and deliver me and my brothers, man, because we do exactly what he says. We believe. All right. But hey, we always say Lord willing because we, got to be humble in these last days as well. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Mokah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who well taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there, pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep the door, keep the faith. As you can see, we're almost out of here. Can't hide the truth anymore. It's in the Library of Congress. For the few that are watching, keep studying, keep praying. Shalom and the Bible Ball. Shalom.